People are important. People's lives and their livelihood are some of the most important things that there are. So I want to be very honoring of people. I want to be very honoring of who they are, what they're trying to accomplish in life, and do it in a way that helps them and empowers them and equips them to really be able to move forward in a real strong way. Technology is just expanding and growing and advancing like crazy. And there's this growth process going on where there are two different channels of growth. There's human growth, which is what I'll be talking about today. But then there's technology growth. Technology growth is fast outpacing human growth. And the more that we focus on technology, the less we focus on human growth, our growth. And there's nothing wrong with technology. He had a CEO come to him one day, and I happened to be in the room at the time when this was happening. And the CEO asked my dad, he said, when we're hiring people, what's the advantage of using your assessment packages? If you could know the same information about a person that you would learn if you worked with them for a year, but you could know that before you make a hiring decision, would that be an advantage to you? If it's not for you, that's fine. But for those of us who can see the advantage of looking inside, whether it's ourselves or somebody else, and getting a true picture of what's going on, it literally is a pathway to enlightened decision making in a brighter future. You can literally, I have seen in the work that we do, we can just about double the national average for successful hires by using a well curated package of assessments. If you look at national statistics, the average tenure for a new hire today is 2.4 years and 1.9 years for younger generations. We can double that. Gallup says about 68% of employees never get any constructive feedback about their performance, about their jobs, about what they're doing. People will say, how do you know this about me? This is like magic. And I laugh. I love that when they say that. But the truth is they reveal patterns, not labels. We don't label people, and they open opportunities for growth. Why would you not invest a little bit in yourself or in other people? In a world of uncertainty, clarity is gold, right? Emotional intelligence training can yield a whopping 1,484% return on investment for organizations. Where in the world can you get a 1,484% return on investment, right? You're not going to get in the stock market. You can't fix what you can't see. That's what assessments are. What would it look like if you were 37 times better at the end of a year, right? Everything is not a nails. And if your only tool is a hammer, you look at everything as a nail. That's just not a good way to approach things when there is so much more that you can learn through what I call a multidimensional assessment process. So the right assessment for the right purpose, engage an assessment professional like myself who can provide guidance and real world experience. It isn't, oh, here's this report and here's that report. What I provide to people when I do assessments is not a report. It is a deep conversation about what are these assessments telling you. So it turns insight into action, and then it turns that action into transformation. I like to say transformation and not change. Change is you go back and forth with change, right? I'm talking caterpillar to butterfly kinds of things. Predictive validity is so critical. We've talked about that. And here's the key. It's got to be actionable data. If it isn't actionable, what good is it? Emotional intelligence is 2 to 4 times more predictive of success than IQ is. The Life Thrive Emotional Intelligence Assessment is based on the 5 competency model: self awareness, self regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. 40 to 90% of our daily actions and decisions are driven by our habits, which means very little thought or consideration, because 70 to 95% of buying decisions are based on emotional drivers. And I know people say that, oh, that can't be right. Okay, then you can argue with the Harvard Business School and Forbes and Gallup and 6 Seconds and all of those people who have done the research and the studies who say, yeah, 70 to 95% of buying decisions are based on emotional drivers. Those conversations can be life changing, and they can change the trajectory of teams and organizations. They can change the trajectory of a life.